Hey guys, welcome to Yoga and Yahweh. My name is Allie and I'm so excited to bring you this new video. So it is going into the fall season and I feel like the Lord was leading me to Ecclesiastes 3:1 to focus on this month. And its very beginning of it says there is a time for every season, a time for everything. I'm kind of paraphrasing it. And I wanted to think about it in this aspect of the trees are starting to change the colors. The wind is starting to shift. Things are starting to get a little bit chillier sometimes in the mornings. We're still in Texas, so it's still very hot. But everything has a season, everything learns to shift and grow and move. And that is the same thing that I focus on in my yoga practice and also my relationship with the Lord. Always shifting, always changing, and always moving. So we'll just do a quick little 15-minute flow today and get your bodies moving. If there's any stiffness or soreness, thinking of areas that maybe you can shift or change just a little bit into a new season. So let's get started in our child's pose. Walking those hands out nice and long, bringing the forehead to the mat. Pushing your seat back towards your feet. We'll take one more big deep breath, filling up the lungs as full as you can here. And letting it all go. Noticing if there's anything in your mind that you are noticing causing some more issues or maybe distractions, adding tension, maybe stress, any of those things that you feel here now. Start to shift the awareness to your breath and your body. We're taking ourselves up into a tabletop from here, lifting the hips. For finding a good, solid, stable base for you. It may not be shoulders that are stacked right over the wrists today. Maybe it's offset just a little bit. It just really depends on where you're at and how your wrist flexibility is. But typically we do have our hips right over our knees. Our belly button is pulled in tight, core is engaged, and we've just got our gaze looking forward here for a moment. When we take this right leg, lift it up, push it straight back behind you, squeezing your glute and pressing down the top of your left foot. Place the toes back down behind you and shift back, push that heel back. Get that calf stretch here. And we come forwards, we'll rock it forward onto the tippy toes and then push it back through the heel again. You have one more of those, shifting forward and then pressing it back. We can take this right leg back behind now, so our right knee goes behind our left knee. I'm going to turn my body just a little bit and then push back through those hips. This is called a shoelace pose, driving those sit bones down towards the ground. Coming back up, shift back into the tabletop. Everything gets to be reset right here. Check back in with your spine, make sure it's nice and long. And we take that left leg, lift it up, squeeze the glute, push through the heel. Toes are turned down towards the ground. Now set that foot down, shift back in the heel. Coming back forward, rock forward onto the very tip toes, squeeze that calf muscle right here and your thigh muscle. And then take it back, push through the palm under the foot and then through the heel. One more time, shift forward. And take it back. Left leg now. You take that left knee back behind the right knee, push back through those hips, angling your body a little bit. Good, bringing it back up into that tabletop. Unwrap that back leg and we'll take that downward facing dog. Hips are reaching up towards the ceiling, pushing down through the hands. Check in right here if you want to, and your heels can reach the ground. Not everybody's heels can, but if yours can, maybe lengthen out your downward facing dog just a little bit. And then press back through the hands. You may get a different stretch here. Lifting up the heels, squeezing the calf muscles. Bend your knees, shift forward into beast pose. Belly is in tight. It's okay if you start shaking a little bit. We're waking up that core. Back to your downward facing dog. Coming back into it, shift back into that beast pose. Bend the knees. Heart is coming right in between the hands. Back into that downward facing dog. Turning both your feet over to the right side, bending the knees, come down nice and low. Take it back up, turning those feet over to the left, bend the knees. Coming back up, one more time each side, turn your feet to the right. It's a twisted down dog. Coming back up and twist to the other side. Taking it back up, push those heels down. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. We squeeze it in, round the spine. We gotta get that core engaged, pull through your belly button. And then we kick this right foot out to the side, and we take a fallen triangle. So if you notice, I've got the blade of my right foot on the mat, but I have the inside of my left foot in the mat. So we're turning our feet, pushing through the left hand, shoulders stacked. Bringing it back around into a high plank with your leg lifted. Low plank. Upward facing dog, drop that right foot. Lift the heart. Downward facing dog. Good, reset. Take a deep breath in. Let it all go. Then we'll take this left knee, squeeze it in towards the chest. Round those shoulders like you're in cat and pull that knee in. And then kick it out to the side, fallen triangle on this side, and you can get the back side of it. Maybe you see my shoulders stacked. Right hand's lifting. Bringing it back around into that high plank with your foot lifted. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Oh, let it all go. One more of those. Deep inhale, filling it all the way up to the very top of the lungs. And releasing, letting it all go. Bringing those feet to your hands. Halfway lift, nice flat spine. Forward fold. Mountain coming up all the way. Reach it up. Bend the elbows, lift the heart. Mountain. And we'll drop it into chair. I'm going to turn this way towards you. In our chair today, our arms are reaching straight up towards the ceiling. You take this right ankle and cross it over the left knee. This is camper pose. We're dropping into our seat. Come in nice and low. Possibly the hands go to the ground. And then maybe we grab a hold of the ankle. Just give it a try. Taking those hands back down to the ground. Unwrapping the right leg, it will go straight back behind us into a standing split. Now you can grab a hold of your left ankle again here. Might get a little wobbly, but we go into a little squat, bending the left knee and the right knee. Right knee comes back behind the left knee, bringing that heel in towards your bum, squeeze. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Mountain to the top. Rise it up. We got to do it on the left side. Taking it down into that chair. All right, here we go. Left ankle comes across. Sink down lower into it. You take your camper pose. Pushing your butt back behind you. You lengthen out through the crown of your head, nice and long. You're going to play around with it here for a moment. Maybe you stay with your hands on the ground, or you give it a test. You might be able to get that ankle on this side. All right, hands back down. Standing split. Noticing in these standing splits, my hips are down. Both hips are facing down. I don't have my hip torqued up this way and I'm lifting, hips down, and then drive the heel. All right, here we go. Grab a hold of that right ankle if you can and take your squat. It's actually called a Shiva squat. Bending the right knee, bending the left knee. Hug that heel in towards your butt. Stay here, one more breath. Oop. Forward fold. Didn't make it quite so long on that side. That is okay. Step those feet out a little bit, ragdoll, sway it out, go side to side. Letting go of the elbows. All right, let's bring it back down onto the mat and teach you a new hip opener today. It's called Fraggin. It is very interesting, and it is a lot, so we'll only be in here for a few breaths today. Fraggin is actually a lunge. So we have our right foot out in front of us. We shift forward so that we will have our knee right over our ankle. And then from here, we'll scoot this left knee back a little bit, turn it so it's frog leg in the left. I'll get a little bit more detailed. Hold on. Coming down, hands will come down to the ground, okay? So if you look at this back left leg, move a little bit so you can maybe see, I've got my knee in line with my ankle like I would in a regular frog. It's stacked. And then my left foot is flexed. So if there's your frog, and then coming into it a little bit more, maybe in this lunge, scoot those right toes forward. This part of it is also known, this little lunge is known as, if we do it this way, it's a dragon. So there's your dragon and your frog, there's your fraggin. So either on the hands, on the forearms, and we will just take a couple of breaths. If this is ever too much for you, you can always come out of it. You can take a half pigeon or a regular frog. It is going to be up to you. I know that this one can be a little bit stressful sometimes because it is difficult. That's kind of like the seasons changing though too in our lives, I feel. It can be difficult too. And we can either sit in it or we can shift through it and breathe through it. Or we can give up. So today, I am choosing to shift through it and breathe. And bring it back up. Hands first. Ooh, pushing out through that right leg. Come on up here for a moment. That's a lot. All right, heel toe, right foot back in. and we'll go over to the left side. I'm gonna go this way so you can see the back of my leg here. So that left foot's coming forward, shifting forward into it, and we frog leg this one. So scoot those left toes forward a little bit if you need to. You get that knee in line with your heel. And then look at your right knee, right ankle, and flex the right foot. Coming into this one, maybe it's different. Maybe this side is a little bit more tight for you. It's okay if it is. You only have a few more breaths right here. All right, one more. Bring it back up and out of that left side. Woo, all right, coming down to seated. Sweeping those legs around to the front. Arms can reach up. Fold down. Coming back up here. One more little hip stretch. I'll put it in quotes. It's kind of like a hip massage, sort of. We're going to take this right leg. This left leg will come out. You won't need that here. We'll get it in a minute. So right one comes up. This is almost like rock the baby. So you've got it lifted, and maybe your right arch of your foot goes into the crook of your left arm. But your right hand will come down, and I want you to roll onto this right glute. Maybe roll a few times. And once you do it, you might find a spot that's a little tight. Sit in it. Put some weight on that spot. And let that hip open up a little. All right, come out of there. Over to that left side. If this is not accessible to you, maybe we do it like this and then come over and roll. So you have that option too. It's going to be up to you where you can go, what your body tells you you can and can't do. For mine, I can lean a little bit further on this side and roll it around. And then find that spot, hang out there. All right, come on out. Nice work, guys. That one can be a little tough too. Let's take one more forward fold here. Arms up, both feet out, taking it down. Bring it back up and make your way down all the way, finding your comfortable space to rest here for your deep rest. Doing whatever you would like to do with the hands. Maybe they rest on your stomach today. Maybe they rest down by your side. And sometimes I like to take up a lot of space in my deep rest. So I'll even take my heels off of my mat, my arms up above my head, almost like a star pose. And then you just let that body be heavy. Noticing what is happening right now in your body and in your breath. You do not have control over the things that happen to you, but you have control over your reaction, and you have control over your breath. You start to work on that breath work on your mat. That work will follow you outside of the studio or outside of your home, in areas that maybe you didn't realize that you needed to take a couple deep breaths before. When we enter into these seasons of change, it can be difficult to adjust to the changes. And we can be very resistant to change, or we can embrace it. Do that body scan, starting at the toes and into the feet, working your way up into your legs, up through your torso and your back. I want you to stop and pay attention to your heart and feel your heartbeat. Continuing up with the body scan, going down into the arms and the hands. Up through the neck and into your head. Notice anything in the body that has shifted from the beginning to the end of class. And that could be a physical change. It could be a mental change. There could be some areas of the body that are at ease now that were not before. Reminding yourself right here in this moment that there is a time for everything, good and bad. But God is never surprised at any change. He's the beginning and the end. He knows all the events that will happen in between then. Take a deep breath in Let it go. Give ourselves a big body stretch. Move slow. And then we'll bring our knees into our chest. Coming up to seated. You can let those hands come on your knees, or you can bring those hands to heart center. It's up to you. I'm going to speak this scripture over you one more time before we close our practice together. So remember, it's Ecclesiastes 3:1, and there is a time for everything. There is a season for everything. Praying for you as you go through this season and the fall of things changing and shifting. Praying that you continue to seek the Lord as you go through these changes and these shifts, because like I said before, He is not surprised. He knows everything from the beginning to the end, and He sees all of those changes and shifts, and He is there with you, walking beside you. Let's take one more big deep breath in. Let it all go. And you are done for the day. Thank you so much for joining me for this Yoga and Yahweh. It's a very humbling experience to have you join me on these, and I hope that these help you just as much as they help me, and it helps me connect with the Lord on my mat, and I pray that that is the same thing for you. As always, reach out if you need anything prayer-wise, and I will stand in battle and prayer with you with whatever you may be facing or whatever you may need. So y'all have a blessed rest of your day or your night, wherever you are and wherever you're watching. And I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching and joining. Bye, y'all.